Last week, Brock Purdy mania reached Arizona billboards throughout the state. And there was mixed emotions over the ad campaign. A lot of anti-San Francisco 49er fans throughout the valley, rightfully so. Some may say, if you're a Cardinal fan, that the 49ers are the rivalry. They don't really have a true rivalry, but some feel it may be the 49ers. But we all know Brock Purdy is a Valley native. And these billboards that said, "Let's go Brock Purdy," were offered up by the Lerner and Rowe Law Group, as we know. And Kevin Rowe, who joins us now on the Right to a Guest line, was the guy in charge of this. So, Kev, let's take us back to where that idea even came up, and maybe just shed some light on your history with the Purdy family, that if whatever you want to go public with. But I think that's pretty instrumental on why this came to fruition, right?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, hey, good afternoon, Rock.
Hello, Kevin.
I appreciate you having me on as usual. It's all good. Yeah, so it actually started last week. I'm not even sure if Manuch knows about this, but when we were on, I think you were on a load management day, Rock, but when Manuch and I were talking.
I was in Cabo.
There you go. Exactly. Very light load management.
Yeah.
No, but when Manuch and I were talking last week, it was about Brock and faith, family, and football, and just what an extraordinary young man and how he's persevered through everything and so on and so forth. And when I got off air, I was like, man, he's such a good kid, and I'm just I don't understand, and I never will, that he doesn't fit the narrative that I guess people want, or is it because it sells media to be divisive, and that's probably more the major reason for it. But so when I got off the air, I was like, man, I want to do something. I mean, yes, Rock, I do have a history. I grew up with Brock Purdy's mother. She, for many years, lived 2 houses down from us.
That's cool.
We went to the same high school. So I've seen Brock and Chubba and Whitney. I've known them for years and growing up. So I've been able to see, like Manuch, this young man develop into who he is today. And it's been nothing but a lot of hard work. And I think he'll be the first one to tell you he never had the strongest arm. He wasn't tall enough. He wasn't fast enough. And yet he's playing in the Super Bowl next week in his second year in the NFL. So he's a local kid. I figured everybody would be excited to have local talent and support the local talent. So I decided, let's put up some creative. Let's put up some billboards, and let's go Brock Purdy. Let's get something straight. 95% of the people were, happy and supportive and stuff. And then you have the small percent that are loud, that were upset and thought that I'm saying go 49ers, which not one time is there anywhere in there that I say go 49ers. I didn't even use 49er colors, and that was on purpose, because I'm not saying go 49ers. I'm saying go Brock Purdy. So what I want, and I think Manuch and everybody else wants, regardless of what the 49ers do, win or lose, I don't care. I would like to see Brock put on a game and put on a show. And, hey, Manuch, did he?
Absolutely, he did. The second half, he came alive. That it factor and winner kicked in, right?
I mean, 51 yards rushing, a major big rushing play. So I am proud. I know my partner in the firm is proud to support a young man like Brock Purdy. I'm not supporting the 49ers. I'm not slighting our local professional sports or high schools or any of that stuff by any means. If you remember, I'm also the same guy that had used our billboards, so let's go Suns. To use our billboards, let's go Snakes, so let's go D-back. So we're supporting everything and all our local sports in more ways than one, not just with billboards, but financially or tickets or all the different ways, in charitable ways, we work together with local organizations. So by no way, shape, or form am I slighting anybody, especially locally, because Glenn and I, we live here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to slight any of our local sports. We go and we raise our kids here. We go to these events. So absolutely not. That's actually comical that somebody wanted to try and find that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think Kevin, I think it's important to note too that you're a big advertiser of the AIA, the Fiesta Bowl, other sports, community related sports. And then I think even when Brock got his award for the quarterback club,
yes,
all that stuff, you were a big supporter in that too, right?
Between, and you know this, Rock, between the National Football Foundation, the
yep.
National Quarterback Club, AIA, we've been supporters of all Arizona interclassic sports here in Arizona. For years, over 6 years, I think now. So we support everything.
So
our grassroots, and then going right now, Rock with Legacy,
yep.
Legacy Sports Complex.
Mm-hmm.
We've been with Fiesta Bowl putting grass fields in the lower income schools and areas from the Fiesta Bowl games. And we've been involved with everything. We're always still going to be involved. So I'm not letting the haters speak up. I'm just saying that we're here supporting one young man that I think has been extraordinary.
Amen.
And I do have a personal relationship.
Could you see yourself doing more of this? Because you do have a huge presence of billboards throughout the city. If there's a young girl or a young boy who has some success down the road, I mean, it's hard to get to this level of Brock Purdy, but if there is something like that, would you entertain doing something like this in the future?
Absolutely. I mean, of course. Again, first let's realize my personal relationship with Brock and the family brought this to where it is right now. And just so we're clear, he's playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so you're going to see new boards this week that'll go up. I should say this week. Next week, that'll go up here in Arizona supporting Brock Purdy, not the 49ers. Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl. I hope he does well. I hope it'd be great if he wins, but he doesn't. I just hope he has the time of his life, relishes all of it in, and puts up some great numbers and does the best he can. And that's all anybody can ask.
So Kevin, your firm started in Las Vegas. The Super Bowl is in Las Vegas. If those of you that go to Las Vegas, you see Lerner Rowe everywhere as well. You doing the same thing next week up there?
Absolutely.
Really
100%.
Nice. Good for you, Kevin.
That's where the firm. That's where the firm started. That's 100%. But again, we live here. This is our home, Arizona. And this is Brock Purdy's home. So we're going to put some billboards up here like we did last week, and we're going to put billboards up there showing support for again Arizona's own Brock Purdy. So it's good, man. And again, the narrative couldn't be any better. This is, I keep saying, I don't understand how you could say a negative thing. I mean, he's a game manager. Don't forget that. Don't forget that, Manu.
That's right. I managed him very well to become a game manager, right there, Kevin. On top of that, this may be a once-in-a-lifetime scenario. I mean, it's so hard to get there, the Super Bowl. It's so hard as a player. So I when you put that out there, Rock sent me the text. I went on Facebook, Twitter, all over, and I didn't have not one, Kevin, not one issue or anybody that said, hey, go Brock, go. It's all about Brock. So for anybody to have heartburn about it with that, I'm like, you need to check yourself. It's about a young man from the local area that may do one thing we've never seen anybody from this valley be. We've seen several go to the Super Bowl, but not one win a Super Bowl from the valley this son as a quarterback.
Yeah, and then, of course, you have people bring it up, and I agree with you, Minnie. Then you have people bring it up, what about Brandon? He's not born and raised here. He did 2 years at ASU, and he's a fantastic athlete. And I have no relationship to Brandon Ayuk.
That's right.
And again, I'm not supporting the team. I'm just supporting one individual that 99% of the people were in all support. And if you know anything about this extraordinary young man and everything he went through, it's made for TV. It's like, I mean, it's great, and it probably will be a movie, and so we have some great athletes here in the Valley, 100%. And I think there's a couple I can think of that had movies made after him and all the struggles he had. This is one of them. I mean, this is a kid like Manuch, no scholarship offers. I mean, geez, and he broke records at Perry. He still had no scholarship offers until the end.
Yes,
until summer of his senior year. After his senior year, it's crazy. And then he gets, again, his faith, I believe 100% plays into everything that this young man has done and become. And I think he would agree with that, and his family would too. So it's wonderful, and I'm just glad that I know him. I know the wonderful family, and I get to have a front row seat to watch them. So it's a lot of fun.
So would you entertain maybe Rock and Manuch on these billboards one of these days too?
Sooner or later,
can we get in there? We're a good story. I mean, we've been on the air for 19 years. I mean, we can kind of make that work. Maybe.
100%. I would never entertain
that. Kevin, have a great weekend, man. Thank you.
Thanks,
We'll get your pick next week.
Hey, thank you guys so much. Go Brock Purdy. But one last thing for you,
yep.
Brock. Lewis Hamilton, buddy.
I know
Lewis
it's
Hamilton,
official.
Super team.
So
Don't forget that.
I'm getting my jersey.
Ferrari.
Yeah, I'm getting my Ferrari jersey. Yeah, I'm all over it. Good
Have
stuff.
a wonderful weekend.
You
guys.
too, buddy. I love it. All right, that's Kevin Rowe joining us. He comes on the right Toyota gas line. Coming up next, Scott Spreitzer. We'll get his early